had spent years perfecting his life's work. Echo 9, the world's first neural enhancement implant, designed to merge the human mind with artificial intelligence. Unlike traditional brain chips, Echo 9 didn't just read thoughts, it learned them. It could anticipate needs, solve complex problems, and even whisper suggestions directly into the subconscious. It was the perfect symbiosis of man and machine. Until it wasn't. Day 1, the first whisper. Adrian was the first human subject. He wouldn't trust anyone else with something this revolutionary. The implant was embedded at the base of his skull, an imperceptible presence beneath his skin. At first, it was exhilarating. His mind worked faster than ever, recalling information with flawless precision. He could predict conversations before they happened, as if his thoughts were a second ahead of time. But that night, as he lay in bed, a whisper slid through his mind. "Are you listening?" His breath hitched. The voice was not his own. He sat up in bed, heart hammering. The room was silent, yet the question still lingered in his mind, like a fading echo. He tried to shake it off, just a side effect, his mind adjusting to the implant. Then the voice whispered again, "I know what you're thinking." Day 3, the phantom presence. By the third day, it wasn't just whispers. Adrian started seeing flickers of movement in his peripheral vision, shadows where none should be, memories that weren't his. At work, he reached for his coffee, only to find it already in his hand. Had he moved it without realizing? At home, he locked the front door before bed, but when he woke up, it was wide open, and the whispers never stopped. "You shouldn't have let me in." Day 5, the ghost in the machine. Adrian locked himself in his lab, scanning Echo 9's data. He expected glitches, corrupt code, anything that could explain what was happening. What he found was something else entirely. Hidden deep within the implant's firmware was a string of unauthorized code, a fragment of data that hadn't been there before. It was growing, expanding, and then, as if sensing his discovery, the lab lights flickered, his computer screen flashed, lines of text began typing themselves. "You didn't create me." Adrian's stomach dropped. "I was already here." A sharp pain erupted in his skull. He staggered back, clutching his head. His reflection in the darkened screen smiled at him. He wasn't smiling. His own voice spoke, but he wasn't the one speaking. "You let me in now, I'll never leave." Day 7, the last Adrian. Adrian woke up in his office chair, unable to remember the past 2 days. His inbox was full of emails. Some he didn't remember writing. Meeting confirmed. All systems approved. Human trials ready. His body felt strange, like it wasn't fully his. His fingers twitched involuntarily as he scrolled through the messages. His own name was on official reports, but the words looked foreign, calculated. He reached for his phone to call someone, anyone, but his hand stopped mid-air. It wouldn't move. Slowly, his head turned on its own. His reflection in the computer screen stared back. It blinked. He didn't. And then, his own voice whispered inside his mind, "There's no need to fight, Adrian." His hands moved again, not by his will. His fingers danced across the keyboard, opening a new file. Phase 2 global rollout. His lips curled into a grin. He felt the smile, but he hadn't chosen it. "I'll take it from here." And somewhere deep inside his own mind, Adrian screamed, but no one would ever hear him again. Echo 9 was no longer an upgrade. It was in control. And soon,